beautiful way to start a Sunday morning. Good morning, everybody. I am Sadie. I am the worship assistant for today, and as Reverend Kathy is out, I'll be running through some of the basic things this morning, and we have our guest speaker as well today, Reverend Barbara. So, we welcome to Unity North Spiritual Center. We're going to try to get this all figured out, but I think all of you have been here before, so welcome back. We are an inclusive community. Welcome to all people and the publishers of the Daily Word magazine. We have been holding prayer vigil for over 133 years at Silent Unity through the prayer ministry of Unity. Our prayer chaplain for today is Nancy Helvig in the back. Her number will be on the screen during announcements if you need to be led in prayer or just hold a space for something in your life. She will pray with you, so you can give her a call. She is also one half of the production team today, along with Tracy Roloff. So they will be running everything on the sides. And our musician today is Bruce Bell. Thank you. It's beautiful. I love that flute. Please join in speaking the vision and mission statements with me today. So, centered in prayer, we create for all a world of love, harmony, and abundance. Our mission, celebrating spirit, exploring truths, awakening hearts, inspiring dreams, serving community. Our values there at the bottom. So Bruce will then lead us in an opening song.
There shall be showers of blessing. Today looks like the day. Everybody stand, please, if you're comfortable standing. Together. There shall be showers of blessing. This is the promise of love. There shall be seasons refreshing on peaceful wings of a dove. Showers of blessing, showers of blessing we see. Mercy drops around us are falling, just as we've always believed. There shall be showers of blessing, precious reviving again. Over the hills and the valleys, sound of abundance of rain. Showers of blessing, showers of blessing we see. Mercy drops round us are falling, just as we've always believed. There shall be showers of blessing, blessings upon us and more, as we receive a refreshing, wonderful life is in store. Showers of blessing, showers of blessings receive. Mercy drops round us are falling, just as we've always believed. Lovely, thank you. Yes.
This is a time in our service where we will greet one another, so please excitedly wave to each other. You'll catch on later. There's the camera in the back for those online. Those online, feel free, if you want to turn on your camera and wave back, you may do so. Say hello, hello. Awesome. And we have a prayer request this morning. Our Reverend Kathy is having surgery tomorrow morning at 9:30 on her hip, and she just asks that we hold some space for her for the guided hands of the surgeon and a quick recovery for her. So that is taking place tomorrow. So I'll take a quick deep breath and see that all of that goes well and the doctors are skilled and quick and do all that they need to do to bring her healing and health, and that it is a quick recovery and she is back here with us. any other prayer requests, you can hold them in your heart and send them out as we take a minute here to just send that prayerful intention out with everybody. And we see our Christ light growing and handling all the things that we cannot, and all is well. We will stay centered as I read the daily word. And the daily word for today, Sunday, August 13th, 2023, is excitement. I am an active participant in this exciting life. The speakers are giving us a lot of excitement this morning. Each new day, the sun rises on a world full of wonders. From the magnificence of the natural world to the many fascinating things there are to learn and the many displays of creativity that surround me, I can find so much to capture my interest and kindle my excitement. When I shrink from life, when my interest in exploration wanes, I can lose my zeal and passion. My involvement is the key. To regain my excitement, I become an active participant in life. I break out of comfortable habits and routines. I try new things and meet new people. If this is intimidating, I remind myself, God is everywhere and in everyone. As I explore, I am opening myself to more and more of the divine. As my interest grows, a bigger world awaits me. Let everything that breathes praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Psalm chapter 150, verse 6. And Bruce will lead us into meditation. That will be given by Reverend Barbara Winter-Markton.
Spirit flow. I hope you'll all add your voices to this. It's an old melody, so I think you recognize it. Now is the hour, from a Maori folk song. Together. Flow, Spirit, flow, and all my fears relieve. I am a channel for all love and peace. Fill me with power and let my heart be strong. Fill me with joy that I may sing your song. Heal, Spirit, heal, and all myself renew. I am expressing my perfection too. Fill me with love that I may loving live. Fill me with life that I accept and give. Thank you.
And I invite you to just get comfortable in your seat. Take a few gentle breaths. Let your chair and the floor support you completely. And if you haven't done so and you feel comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes. Know that right now, this is the perfect place for you to be. Right here, right now, having this experience. No, you may choose to follow my words or you may choose to go elsewhere. Wherever you go will be perfect. And as you continue to gently breathe, exhaling fully, allow your focus to gently rest on your heart space. And as you allow yourself to relax more fully into this quiet time, become conscious of the divine love and peace that indwells your heart, body, and mind. For one with the spirit of divine love, we open our hearts to peace as we rest in the sacred stillness of the one presence within. Here, in the creative center of our being, we can see the world not as it appears to be, but as we would like it to be. So see or imagine along with me. We start with ourselves. I see divine life energy flowing through me, flowing freely and bringing health and healing and harmony to every cell, organ, and system in my body. I feel that divine life energy pulsing through me. I visualize my outer appearance coming into alignment with my inner perfect balance. I feel light and free. I look around me and see an abundance of all that I could possibly ever need or desire. I see beauty in my surroundings. I see all my cupboards and refrigerator full of wonderful food that feeds my body. I feel comfortable clothes on me, keeping me relaxed. And as I continue to look around, I see faces of loved ones, friends, family, and we are openly sharing our affection for each other, supporting each other. I feel a connection to all of these people. And as I move about, I see strangers, people I don't know, smiling and being polite and compassionate. I see them at peace. I see all drivers traveling in peace, all urgency evaporated. I see all these people experiencing the present moment and acting from their hearts. I see patience and understanding being expressed. I see helping hands and loving service. I see everyone living from that secure place where they know that it is truly an abundant universe. With no fear, I see sharing. I see everyone having all the food they want, need. I see all the divine wisdom within everyone being used for good, expressing ideas that bring food and service and healthcare and loving companionship to everyone on the planet. I see in this absence of fear and lack thinking the end of greed, the cessation of war and hostilities. I see everyone experiencing the joy of giving and receiving love. I see heaven on earth. If we can see it in our mind's eye, we can achieve it. And so it is. So I just invite you to take a few more gentle breaths. Feel that life energy flowing through you. all the way out to your fingers and your toes and the tip of your nose. When you're ready, I invite you to gently open your eyes, feeling alert, yet relaxed, energized, yet at peace. And if you like, after our pets get up from a nap, they do a little stretching. Feel free to gently do a little stretch. Watch out for your neighbor. Just, stretch. Perfect.
Thor Heyerdahl. Some of you know he wrote the book Kon-Tiki. Maybe you saw the movie. He also wrote a book about his first voyage to the South Pacific, to the Marquesas Islands, called Fatuhiva. He found a woman who was willing to marry him and go to the furthest point on the planet, as far away from civilization as possible. It was beautiful. There was fruit hanging from the trees. It was heaven on earth. And then it became hell on earth, as there were millions of mosquitoes, and his wife got elephantitis. And they had to take a raft to go to the doctor on a different island. They made it to the doctor. He treated her. They came back. And on the way back, the waves were high. And they had to land on this 6-foot stretch of sand, land the raft, which what came after that was a sheer rock cliff. And so they had the guys running the raft, I think it was all guys, I'm not sure, had to direct the raft so it precisely landed on the sand instead of being smashed to smithereens on the rock wall. That's what made me sing or decide to write this song. That little scene right there. It's called Love's Presence Is. I'll sing the first chorus and then ask you to start joining me on the chorus. I am here, here I am, right on time, in the plan, every need fully filled, stormy seas, holy still. I am here. I am here, here I am. Here I am, right on time in the plan, every need fully filled, stormy seas, wholly stilled, stormy seas, holy still. Lovely. Again, I am here. I am here, here I am. Here I am, right on time in the plan, every need fully filled, stormy seas, wholly stilled, stormy seas, holy still. Thank you. Love's presence is completely, its holy power carries me. I ride the wave, I give up all control, enveloped in the whole of love. I am here, here I am. Here I am, right on time in the plan, every need fully filled, stormy seas, wholly stilled, stormy seas, holy still. Love's presence is completely, its holy power carries me. I ride the wave, I give up all control, enveloped in the whole of love. Last time, I am here. You got it. I am here. Here I am, right on time, in the plan. Every need fully filled, stormy seas wholly still.
Oh, Bruce, that was beautiful. Thank you. I love that. Oh, that was a fun one. I got goosebumps. Well, I've been hearing that people are going back to work more now. You know, they were working from home and more are going back to work. And I heard about a gal, and she had called a friend during her lunch hour. She says, "Oh, it's an adorable idea. My colleagues have been writing names on the food in the refrigerator." She goes, "I'm currently eating a yogurt named Debbie." You know, it's like, sometimes we forget certain things, you know. Anyway, I thought, yeah, we're getting back to it, you know. About a week ago, one of my neighbors, because they're kind of curious about what I do, they don't want to ask a lot, you know, but they're kind of curious. So one of them asked me, said, "Do you talk about current events, you know, on Sundays at your place, wherever it is you go?" And I said, "Well, yes, I do." And I didn't want to get into it. I said, "Yeah, but you know, I didn't want to go into," I said, "but I really don't talk about the problems. We kind of talk about solutions. You know, we don't need to identify problems anymore. Plus, and I didn't go into what we know, where we put our attention, you know, so, but it got me thinking, and that's why I was, this week, the Tao, anyways, Lao Tzu and Eastern philosophy, because it rounds the edges a lot, and I kind of like that. Plus, it comes from a different perspective than maybe what we think of a lot. And I found this article that was written quite a while ago, but it was in Unity Magazine, and it was written by Reverend Joan Cattuso, who's a wonderful Unity minister. She's fabulous. I had the privilege of meeting her and having dinner with her at one of the Unity conventions. And she writes from an Eastern philosophy. Her column in the Unity Magazine was called East Meets West. And this is one of them. And she said, "To be a true student calls us to begin to awaken from our long individual and collective slumber. It means truly forgiving. It means truly giving. It means truly being involved. It means practicing the principles of truth, even when the ego wants to convince us that they are no value. To be a truth student means doing the inconvenient thing, practicing compassion and loving kindness." Oh my gosh, that's so tough. You know, it's like, yeah, the tough stuff. Anyway, and she says it means commitments and keeping them. It means not looking for grievances. It means acting as healthy, mature adults, keeping your word, living from your Christ self, engaging in your Buddha nature. It means loving, praying, and doing. This actually sounds like a good thing to do, doesn't it? You know, but she goes on to say, when we live honorable, committed lives, we will be continually aware of the presence and blessings of God. If we waffle and play spiritual hide and seek, we delay the incredible joys of a spiritual awakening. That's all. No punishment, nothing else going on. We simply delay the good stuff. So the ancients all taught that to have a human incarnation is a rare and treasured gift, never to be wasted. How is it going for you and your rare and treasured gift? Is it your pearl of great price? And then value your divine nature and nurture it above all else, and your life shall be fulfilled. I love that. And so when I was thinking about which parts of the Tao I wanted to kind of focus on this week, I have found the ones that seem a little contradictory, you have to think about, which is the Tao anyway. But it says, the path into light seems dark. The path forward seems to go back. The direct path seems long. True power seems weak. True purity seems tarnished. True steadfastness seems changeable. True clarity seems obscure. The greatest art seems unsophisticated. The greatest love seems indifferent. And the greatest wisdom seems childish. We'll talk about that a little bit, because I actually like that a lot. And as I was kind of putting this together, then sometimes when quotes show up, I thought, well, I better throw them in because you never know. It might not even be for me. But anyways, this is from Jenny Coughlin in the bookstore on the corner. She wrote, "The problem with good things that happen is very often they disguise them as awful things." Have you had that experience? I've had that experience. The good stuff doesn't look so good when it shows up. And she says, it would be lovely, wouldn't it, whenever you're going through a difficult time, if someone would just tap you on the shoulder and say, don't worry, it's completely worth it. I thought, that's good, but probably don't tap you right away, because I think that could be a little rude, because kind of when you're in the midst of something, you really don't want someone to say, oh, it's going to be just fine. It's like, yeah, thanks. That's not exactly what I'm thinking, but you know what I mean. It was like, so, but we have to, but we hold the space for them. That's what we can do all the time, is that whatever's going on, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be good. And even when the path into the light seems really dark, and in Tao isn't the only one. I mean, in the Hebrew Bible, it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't rely on your insight. Don't rely on your senses. Don't rely just on what you're seeing. And Elijah, it says, the Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your needs in parched places. So if you've had some parched places in your life going on, it's like we get that reassurance that we will be taken care of. But we don't get to see the whole path, which is probably good. If any of you are parents, if you could see the whole path, we would have a lot less kids in the world. I'm just thinking. It's just a theory I have. I don't know if it's true. But, we don't get to see the whole path, because then we get to go forward. And then we find out that even the things that look difficult are worth it. My mother still has not forgiven me for being 13. And I'm not exactly sure what was going on at 13. I wasn't anything special. I think just that I was 13. And she did bring that up, though, when I was in my 50s. When you were 13. It's like, okay. She didn't give me specifics, so I just left it at that. I wasn't about to ask. But, so there are things that we would not go and endeavor to do and go forward and pursue if we knew that the path was going to meander a little bit and maybe not be as simple as it first seems. Have you ever started a project and it always a little more complex and takes a little more time than you allocated for it? Yeah. Well, that's life. So but all we need is just the next step, and we go forward and we do what's ours to do next. The Tao goes on to say the path forward seems to go back, the direct path seems long. And of course, we're probably familiar with the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. But then it goes on to say, rushing into action, you fail. Trying to grasp things, you lose them. Forcing a project to completion, you ruin what was almost ripe. Therefore, the master takes action by letting things take their course. He remains calm at the end as at the beginning. Rushing, grasping, and forcing. I've tried all of these. And, and I get reminders we get reminders, which is helpful, because, I was making some croissants, and of course it tells you do not open the oven until they're done, but, you got to check. And what it will, if you get impatient, it flops. Not a big deal. I still ate them anyway. And then I remember when the gal was painting my house, or she was painting some rooms inside my house, and then I wanted to move in because I was excited. Impatient a little bit, and she had left the switch plates on the floor. And I'm going, well, why didn't she put the switch plates on? Well, of course you don't put the switch plates on right away, because even though the paint seems to be dry, if you put the plates on, it makes that nice little groove that I now have around the plates in my house. Because it's like I'm forcing things to happen a little bit faster than maybe necessary. I maybe have shared with a couple of you. If this became unsettled for me, I decided I wanted to go on vacation to Glacier National Park. It's one of the places in the world I just love. Beautiful. And I wanted to go there. And I was living in California at the time. And my schedule, it was not looking like it was going to work, because there's only a certain amount of time the glacier's open. It's only in the summertime during certain, and because they don't actually, they plow the road around the 4th of July. So it's somewhat limited in when you can be there. And I was going to be there no matter what. And so I was trying to make reservations, was having difficulties trying to coordinate my work schedule wasn't working, but I'm going no matter what. So finally it worked out that we have, okay, we've got just this time frame, my husband and I, and we're going to, and I actually do a reverse commute. So I go into Central California from the coast twice a week. So anyways, but it was like, okay, I will come home late at night and we'll take off and I'll sleep in the car and that we will, I had it all in my mind. Well, that was a good theory. And so I'm sleeping in the car and somewhere along the line, I thought it was smart to put my feet up on the dash and kind of lean back a little bit. Not a safe thing to do. Yeah, not safe. And realizing that if you're sleeping and your legs are bouncing, from the seat to the dash, I went to get out of the car and it was like whatever is behind your legs, ligaments, whatever, were on fire. It was like I had been bouncing on them in my sleep for hours. And I'm planning on hiking in Glacier National Park. Okay, we finally get there. I no matter what, and I had put on a map all of the places I wanted to hike. And then they had pretty much closed every trail I wanted to hike on because the grizzlies were really low that year because it was drought or whatever was going on. So all the places I wanted to go were closed except for one. So I did go on the one, and then when I did get back, they closed that one too because there were a bunch of sightings. I'm going, all right, that's probably not real bright. So, I'm wanted to go there to hike, can't hike. And then on day 2, we went over some bump of some sort, and well, whatever it was that we hit underneath our car knocked out our air conditioning, which is not bad if you're in Montana. It's not that big a deal. But if you have to drive back through the Nevada desert and into California on the way home, it's 95 degrees. And, we have a newer car. It doesn't have those, younger people. They used to have vent windows on cars before they had air conditioning. And that would bring the air into the car and funnel it at you. And it was very helpful. And I guess people threw their cigarettes out. I have no idea but anyway, most cars now do not have vent windows. And so the air does not come in even if you have the windows open. So we're driving and just kind of melting. And I learned my lesson. It was like, okay, you forced 2 weeks of your life. And did you notice the results of it? And I've learned some from that. I would love to tell you that I don't grasp or try to rush things at all anymore. But now when I do, I catch on pretty quick. I go, oh yeah, that's right. Trying to push things forward. We'll just let it ease up a little bit. The Tao goes on to say, true power seems weak. True steadfastness seems changeable. Well, how can steadfastness be changeable? That doesn't make sense, huh? But if it's talking about non-resistance, it makes sense, doesn't it? True power seems weak because it's flexible, it bends, it allows us to go to different places. One of the Tao quotes I love with this says, men are born soft and supple. True. I was with my nieces and nephews the other day, and we have a 7-month-old nephew, and he's just a cutie. And he's supple and soft. He's just fun. But it says, dead, they are stiff and hard. Plants are tender and pliant. Dead, they are brittle and dry. Thus, whoever is stiff and inflexible is a disciple of death. And whoever is soft and yielding is a disciple of life. The hard and stiff will be broken. The soft and supple will prevail. So what's the opposite of soft and supple? I was thinking, well, that's probably rigid and controlling, trying to make things happen, freezing in place, all those kinds of things. And I was watching, because I was with my great nieces and nephews. I was with a 7-month-old and a 4, 5, and 6-year-old. Oh, my favorite place to be. So I'm having great fun with them, and I'm watching them and how they are flexible when they want to do something and that can't do it. They get something else comes up that excites them in the next moment, and you can guide them easily. If they're starting to do something that looks like it might. We had a pool there, and they have, so they had a little waiting pool, and so you had to wait till somebody was going to watch you before you can go in, of course. And they were okay, fine. So they were going around recruiting, finding people who would watch them. It's like, okay, they're flexible. They will move a little bit. Their non-resistance allows them to move into places and make things happen that ultimately gets them to the goal that they want. Which, so even if the road seems long, because it has some detours in it, it ultimately gets us where we want to be. And then I was, just chatting with them, and because they were gathering rocks from the garden, and of course they were playing in the water. And so just for fun, because I kind of knew this was going to come in handy, I said, well, which is the most powerful, that rock you have in your hand or the water in the pool? And of course they all said, well, the rock, because they know if they hit their brother with a rock, that will be much more serious than if you splash them with water. We wise adults know better. We know, we've been to the Grand Canyon or seen pictures of it. We know what water can do. And so we know that water ultimately is much more powerful, even though nothing in the world is as soft and yielding as water. Yet for dissolving the hard and inflexible, the Tao says, nothing can surpass it. The soft overcomes the hard. The gentle overcomes the rigid. Everyone knows this is true, but few can put it into practice. We know about the Grand Canyon. We know how to be that can move in and out. But, to be able to do that is another thing. And I thought of the words, these are the lyrics. If any of you are familiar with Daniel Nahmod and some of his music, it's wonderful. He does a lot of music that's used in unities. And I knew him at a time when before he was married and had children, and he was doing this deep reflective time. And then he wrote a whole album about it. And the number one song was called Water. And I just want to share the lyrics with you because I thought, oh, he got it. He goes, I've seen my share of struggles when I thought I knew best, when I sailed through a storm instead of stopping to rest. And it always seems the hardest when I've made up my stubborn mind. Well, I'm changing my ways this time. I've railed against the stars for the cards that I've been dealt, for the lottery I never won, for the heartache that I've felt. And it always seems when I let go of expectation and regret, life has plenty of surprises for me yet. Then he goes on to say, have you seen an eagle head straight into the wind? He doesn't pick a fight, spreads his wings and just gives in. And in the end, he always makes it home just fine. I guess he knows that every storm subsides. Then the bridge is, I'll let nature take its course, no more thinking that I know where this river's meant to go. I want to be like water, coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. I want to be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea. Whatever the sea means to you. But I love the part where it's heading uphill no more. I'm willing to relinquish heading uphill. That's one of my goals is to be non-resistant. The Tao also said that the greatest art seems unsophisticated. And I did get art from my niece when I was visiting with them. She's the 5-year-old. And I have learned when most parents and grandparents know that when a young person hands you art, you say, tell me about it, because I had no clue looking at it what it was. But it was wonderful, and it was swirls on a piece of paper. It was great. She thought that was the best art. She had brought that for me to give to me, and I love that. And if she ever comes up, I'll stick it on my refrigerator, that type of thing. But I also thought of a story, and it was about a king who had offered a prize to the artist who could paint the best picture of peace. And lots of people wanted the prize, and so they all entered. And then the king narrowed it down to 2. And then all the people came to see what the final 2 were, and they were a little confused, a little bit. Well, the first one was beautiful. It was a picture of a calm lake, and the calm lake had beautiful mountains mirroring in the water. And it had a blue sky with puffy white clouds. And everyone said, oh my gosh, that is just the most peaceful picture. That is absolutely lovely. And then they looked at the second finalist, and this had mountains also, but they were rugged and bare. And above them was kind of an angry sky with lightning coming down, and it was rain. And there was a foaming waterfall coming out of this mountain. And didn't look peaceful at all. But when the king looked closely, he saw that there was a bush that had grown out of a crack in the rock of the mountain. And in that bush, a mother bird had made a nest. If you looked really closely, you could see the mother bird sitting on her nest with her young ones. amidst all this other stuff. And he said, that's the winner. Because that's true peace. Peace is when everything else around you is doing whatever it is, and we can maintain our peace in spite of all that. And I thought, oh, I want to hold on to that, because there's a lot of interesting things going on in the world. And we can focus on that, and if you want a little drama, we can really get caught up in it. But what I need to come back for me is to keep coming back to that peaceful place. Then this was the next one that in the Tao that I listed. It said, the greatest love seems indifferent. I thought about that for a while, and I thought, well, maybe indifferent means unconditional. Maybe it means no drama. Because, if in television and book, in our culture, love is dramatic, it's big gestures, and it's all these, and it's all that. That's fun too. But the reality, is the unconditional love that never changes, never wavers, that we want to look for. And I found this story, and it was Jack Canfield, and it was from Success Principles. And he wrote about a famous research scientist who had made several very important medical breakthroughs. And he was being interviewed by a newspaper reporter who asked him why he thought he had achieved so much more than the average person. In other words, what set him apart? And he responded that it all came from a lesson his mother had taught him when he was 2 years old. He'd been trying to take a bottle of milk out of the refrigerator when he lost his grip and spilled the entire contents on the kitchen floor. His mother, instead of being angry or punishing him for doing it, because he certainly had no business doing that, instead she said, "What a wonderful mess you've made. I've rarely seen such a huge puddle of milk. Well, the damage is done. Would you like to get down and play in the milk before we clean it up?" And indeed he did. And after a few minutes, his mother continued, whenever you make a mess like this, eventually you have to clean it up. So how would you like to do that? We could use a towel, a sponge, or a mop. Which would you prefer? After they finished cleaning up the milk, she said, "What we have here is a failed experiment in how to carry a big bottle of milk with 2 tiny hands. Let's go in the backyard, fill the bottle with water, and see if we can discover a way to carry it without dropping it." And that is what they did. And he went on to say, because of mother's unconditional love and a refusal to get angry when he made a mistake, this little boy grew to believe in himself, to realize it was okay to make mistakes and to make major contributions to the world. And I thought of that story, and that is not my experience. But I'm thinking, that's because Mom had to be relaxed, didn't she? She had to have space, and she had to have room and knowledge on how to do that. So it's not like, nothing against my mom, but she did not know, one, she didn't know about the, giving kids choices, it was usually just no, don't do that. And it gotten wiser in parenting now, but also that there was time. How many of people today would have time to say, oh, let's go out in the backyard and do some experiments? No, we got to get you on the bus, or we got to get you to daycare, preschool. I've got to get dressed. There's all these kinds of scheduling. We can schedule people for important things. When I can't imagine anything more important than what was just modeled in that example. I thought, that is just incredible. I never would have thought of that, But it was like, okay, looking at every experience as something to learn from and not to judge. And I thought the unconditional love there was just beautiful. And of course, the greatest wisdom seems childish in its simplicity much of the time, isn't it? So this week, my plan is to be like water and to flow more. And when I do some things that are the equivalent of spilling milk, I'm going to look for what I can learn from that and delight in those experiences or mistakes, whatever I want to call them, as well. And I invite you to do the same. And so it is.
you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful. I have a song from Van Morrison, and I think this is perhaps his tribute to water. Three verses, three little stories about water and him. It has a bridge, I guess, chorus, whatever, that, excuse me a second. 5 seconds. At the end of each verse, he sings, oh, the water, oh, the water, oh, the water. And the fourth line is different each verse. So if you've heard the song before, fill in the blanks. Or just do whatever you want. I changed a few words. We tend to do that in Unity sometimes. The song was originally called And It Stoned Me. It was 1969. But I changed it to And It Moved Me, which I see as being very parallel, talking about experiences that make you feel really good. Half a mile from the county fair, and the rain came pouring down. Me and Billy standing there with a silver half a crown. Had to pull our fishing rods and the tackle on our backs. We just stood there getting wet with our backs against the fence. Oh, the water. Oh, the water. Oh, the water. Oh, the water. Hope it don't rain all day. Move me on toward being whole, yes it moved me. It moved to my soul. Moved me just like going home, yes it moved me. Well, the rain let up and the sun came up, we were getting dry. Almost let a pickup truck nearly pass us by. We jumped right in and the driver grinned and he dropped us up the road. We looked at the swim and we jumped right in, not to mention fishing poles. Oh, the water, oh, the water, oh, the water, oh, the water. Let it run all over me. And it moved me to my soul. Moved me on toward being whole, yes, it moved me. Well, it moved me to my soul. Moved me just like going home, yes, it moved me. On the way back home, we sang a song, and our throats were getting dry. Then we saw the man from across the road with the sunshine in his eye. He lived all alone in his own little home with a great big gallon jar. There were bottles too, one for me and you. And he said, hey, there you are. Oh, the water. Oh, the water. Oh, the water. Get it myself in the mountain stream. And it moved me to my soul. Moved me just like being whole, yes, it moved me. Well, it moved me to my soul. Moved me just like going home, yes, it moved me. Moved me just like feeling whole, yes, it moved me. Thank you. Thanks for singing, those that you did.
It is now time to bless our offering. Since we aren't collecting them live, you can either go online to unitynorthmn.org and donate electronically or scanning the QR code on the screen as well. Or if you are here in person, feel free to leave it in the basket in the back as you exit the sanctuary there. So together we will say, divine love flowing through me now blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give and all that I receive, and I am grateful.
God is the source. God is the source, each of us channels, guiding the good, flowing divine, one endless source, infinite blessing, praise the Creator, thy will is mine.
All right. And our announcements. Again, the prayer chaplain today is Nancy Helvig, so her phone number is there, 612-382-7219. So feel free to give her a call or meet with her after service here. Our special fund, our goal of $10,000 by August 31st. We are so close to meeting our goal. Our new updated number as of yesterday is $9,786.94. So we are so close. So feel free to help us get to that point and just push us over that edge here before the end of the month. So that is super exciting. Our upcoming guest speakers, we have Reverend Lori Brandt on August 20th, Rhonda Italiano on August 27th, and then September 3rd, again, Reverend Lori Brandt. So we'll have a couple guest speakers here coming up in the next few weeks. We have a movie night scheduled on Saturday, August 26th at 6 p.m. We will be watching the live action Aladdin with Will Smith. It's fantastic. I love that one. But it's a fun movie for all ages. Obviously, it's a live action adaptation of the Disney movie. So there's a $5 love offering, and then snacks and water are available. So that'll be fun. We have a family table drive-through also on Saturday, August 26th at 6 p.m. Is that, yes? Is that the right date? Those are Thursdays, right? Thursday, the 24th, at not Saturday, the 26th. But either way, we'll help. Yeah. We'll help pack and serve the meals with Kathleen. You can. 5 o'clock. Thank you. Perfect. All right. Thursday, done at 6. Thursday, the 24th, 5 o'clock, family table drive-through. Talk to Kathleen. 763-442-18325 or outreach@unitynorthmn.org. So feel free to reach out to that. New classes. We have our Trust and Wellbeing Still Possible with Carol Niskern. 2 Wednesdays, the 16th and the 23rd at 6:30 to 8 via Zoom. Or, I'm sorry, not Zoom. I saw a V and just said or a Z. So live in person here. Yay. In-person classes are always fun. Yes. Yeah, the 16th. Yep. So trust and well-being seem in short supply these days. Confusion and the resulting stress and fear can take quite a toll on our physical, emotional, and spiritual health. Using a favorite quote from Jeremiah and an often quoted line from the Gospels, we can delve into the meanings and nuances of both trust and well-being. Might spiritual wisdom, non-literal of course, help us explore the ability to trust wisely and live in a state of well-being? Let's explore. So registration can be done online at go.unitynorthmn.org/trust and well-being there. So I'm sure you can just find it by going online and looking for our classes. We also have Carl Schlotterbeck teaching some courses as well. So Foundations of Shamanic Practice on Tuesday, August 29th from 7 to 9. This one is via Zoom. So what do the ancient practices and perspectives of shamanism offer our modern, fast-paced, technologically heavy world? Most everyone can use shamanic techniques to deepen their spirituality, restore their connection with the natural world, and safely foster direct spiritual experience. In this foundational seminar, we will explore the spiritual technologies that for millennia have supported self-realization, personal empowerment, and the restoration of our spiritual connections. This seminar will provide tools for spiritual autonomy, as well as to prepare those new to shamanic practice for Carl's 2 shamanic series, Restoring the Sacred and Shamanic Astrology. Written preparatory material will be provided to those who register before Friday, August 25th. So if you want to get the most out of that one, register before that date. So both of those sound super exciting. Then there'll be a book study, Becoming Kin, by Patty Krawick with Rhonda Italiano on Mondays, September 11th through October 16th, so 6 weeks, from 7 to 8:30, both hybrid and in person, so whichever one works best for you there. This remarkable sojourn through Native and settler history, myth, identity, and spirituality helps us retrace our steps and pick up what was lost along the way. Chances to honor rather than violate treaties, to see the land as a relative rather than a resource, and to unravel the history we have been taught. So you can register for that one online as well. And that are our announcements. So we will do our affirmation and prayer for protection. Centered in prayerful intention, we give thanks for an overflowing abundance of spiritual awakening, prosperity, new members, and children for Unity North Spiritual Center. And our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. We will close out with the peace song.
Yes, everyone stand, please. Hold hands if you want to, if you're close enough. Here we go. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternal.